Welcome back, everybody, to another session with Math Panda. This time it is section 1.4 out of my intermediate algebra book. And this time we're talking about order of operations, which is really simple, really super easy to remember. First thing we want to remember about the order of operations is that we do any type of grouping symbols, which includes parentheses, brackets, if I can get that right, little squiggly line things, and absolute values. We want to make sure that we get those done, out of the way, take care of those first. Absolute first. Next thing we want to take a look at, second thing, are exponents. Alright? And then the third thing we want to focus on is multiplication or division from left to right. We read left to right, therefore we do math left to right, basically, how it goes. Then the fourth thing is that we add or subtract from left to right. Thought it was really funny. My math teacher pointed out something that was really great, was that we basically do everything opposite in the order that we learned it from when we were kids. You know, when we first enter school and our math and stuff, everything, we learn how to add. Then we learn how to subtract. Then we learn how to multiply, then divide. Then we learn about exponents. And then we learn about these guys. Well, when factoring and solving all this stuff out, we basically do it in the opposite way that we learned it all. So, alright. Turns out really easy. So, be sure to keep all this stuff in mind. Alright? We'll go ahead and we'll do some problems here. So, first things first. Number 13 out of my book is we've got 3 squared. That's really super easy. If we rewrite it, it basically looks like we're multiplying 3 by 3, which is really simple. We all know that that's 9. Alright? Number 14 gets a little trickier. Number 14 has a parenthesis of -4, cubed. So if we were to basically translate that out, it would look like this. Alright? Basically, what it's saying is that whatever is inside the parenthesis appears 3 times. And since we've got the parentheses here next to each other, that means that they're being multiplied together and we don't have to write the dot. So, or X. But then once you get up into algebra and everything, we use the dot to represent multiplying because X is a variable that we use. So, it would really confuse us if we use the little X still. So then, for this, what we do, we start out with the first 2. Because remember, we do everything from left to right. 2 negatives create a positive number. And then 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. So we've got a positive 16 being multiplied by a -4 now. Because we used up those 2, this one gets transferred over here. That's a really retarded parenthesis, but whatever. You guys understand. So the 16 multiplied by -4. I'm sorry, I should have grabbed my calculator for that. I'm kind of retardo. Give me one sec, guys. I may love math and I may be good at doing it, but every once in a while we need a calculator. Alright. Just makes life easier. So, the answer to this one would be -64. Now, the reason why that is because we're multiplying a positive by a negative. And basically, anything multiplied by a negative that isn't another negative stays negative. That's our answer. That's our answer. Those are really screwed up squares, but I don't care today. Today's a good day. So, moving on. I just like having the upper board. The upper board's fun. It's better. Number 15. This one looks a little bit different than 14, but also a lot alike. The difference is that there's no parentheses. It's -3 squared. Now, with the parenthesis, it meant that everything that was inside the parenthesis was being multiplied. It acts like a little lens so that the exponent can see that whole -3 or the -4 number. In this case, the exponent can only see the 3. It can't see this negative sign. So the negative sign kind of just stays there. And this ends up looking like this, which we find out is -9. Because we want to do the 3 multiplied by the 3 first. So then that turns into that. And that's basically a -1. Because mathematicians are lazy and dead people said that that's how it's done. Really easy. Super simple. So, the -9 becomes our answer. Alright. Now on to something that's a little bit more complicated. Which means I have to erase this. Bye-bye. Number 57. We've got 4 squared plus 2 to the 3rd minus 2 squared minus 3 squared. Alright. Sure, it looks all ugly and complicated, and I've seen way worse. But it's actually really simple. What I like to do with stuff like this is I like to put everything in its own parenthesis because that is what you have to do. Since we don't have parentheses right now, we follow the order of operations. Therefore, we have to do all these exponents. Since every number here has an exponent on it, it's easiest if we just do them all out individually. So 4 squared is 4 multiplied by 4. We keep the addition sign there. This is going to be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 minus 2 multiplied by 2 minus 3 multiplied by 3. Sure, now it looks all big, long, and ugly, but this is personally how I like to do things and the easiest way to do this if you want to be able to keep track of your work. So 4 multiplied by 4, we have 16 plus 2 times 2 is 4 multiplied by another 2 is 8 minus 4 minus 9. This is really super easy. 16 plus 8. I'm going to be retardo. 24. So we get 24 minus 4 minus 9. I'm just doing this for thoroughness and simplicity. So doing everything all by itself. Obviously, that's 20 minus 9. The answer we have is 11. Really super simple stuff, everybody. Really super simple. So, now we'll go ahead and we'll go into... It's actually a little simpler, but it still follows with the order of operations. We've got number 65 out of 1.4 of my math book. And its number, or the expression, I should say, is 3 plus 5 times 8. Now, please, whoa. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it did that. First thing we want automatically, like, have the desire to do is do the 3 plus 5. But that's not what order of operations tells us to do. Order of operations tells us that math comes before, multiplication comes before addition. So, instead of doing the 3 plus 5 and then multiplying that by 8, it's 3 plus whatever this multiplies out to, which just so happens to be 40. And then our answer is 43. If you had done it the other way around, you would have ended up 8 times 8 is 64. So you would have ended up with a completely different answer if you had done it that way. So that becomes our answer. Just keep in mind, you guys, that you need to just Keep it simple, follow the operations, and you will get every answer right. Just be patient. Look out for the little tricks and snares. I'll see you guys next time.